lot of us are trying too hard to do things and to get to a place where we can leave our job and stuff like that from trading. And when we do that, we don't really understand, or we start to miss the fact that it's the process that's going to get us there. It's the work, it's the discipline, it's the consistency, it's the grind that we put in that's going to get us to that point where we can leave our jobs, where we can be consistently profitable. But if we're not willing to trust the process and do the process, then we're going to find ourselves in this situation, and it's in the cycle of falling on our ass over and over again and trying to understand why am I keep failing at this? Why do I keep doing the same thing over and over again when I know I should be doing this? Well, one thing is that you have a lot of things, and a lot of us have different traumas or different situations or different circumstances that we're going through, and we come into trading with these things and these baggages, and some of us have to do more work than others. And so when you're looking at this person and you're looking at that person, you're looking at their success and you're looking at what they're doing, you don't really know what they had to go through or what they didn't have to go through in order to get to where they had to get to. Everybody's path in trading is different, and that's why it can maybe be a little bit confusing to some people why some people are doing so well versus some people who take 5, 8, 10 years to get now. It's just because some of us are dealing with different things. Some of us have different baggages that we're going through. And when you start to understand that and you start to mature in your trading, you start to realize that slow is actually fast in trading. When you move slower, when you take your time, when you don't rush it, when you don't gamble, when you don't force trades, when you don't max lot on every single trade, you start to actually see how compounding becomes your best friend. But a lot of us don't get to that point because we're trying to gamble our way to a funded account. We're trying to gamble our way out of our job. And when we do that, all we're doing is solidifying a subconscious barrier in our learning and in our trading, where when we get to a certain point, we always do something to self-sabotage ourselves because we built this mindset in this environment where we think that the market is against us. We think that this will never work for us. We think that we've tried everything and that nothing works. And so we're going into everything now thinking that, having a mindset where it's like, this is probably not going to work. And so you're already defeating yourself before you even have a chance to learn. And so when you get into that type of environment, it becomes a very toxic environment. And then that develops anxiety. It brews up worry. It brews up depression. It brews up all these type of different emotions that you start to deal with that have nothing to do with trading, but starts to affect your trading. You see what I'm saying? So, I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of ranting and stuff, but I feel like this is really good because I feel like this is something that a lot of us traders really go through. We really go through a lot of the turmoil where we think that it's the trading that's gonna make us get there. It's the putting more work into the craft. It's the studying for more hours. It's the binge watching videos. And when you do that type of stuff, it doesn't get you anywhere. All it does is just make you feel like nothing will ever work. And you have to get to a place where you have balance. Trading requires balance. It requires not too confident, but it requires enough confidence to be able to take a loss and not go into the next day and tilt, or be able to take a loss and not tilt in the same day. You know what I'm saying? And it takes being humble, but not being too to the point where you're scared and you're timid and you have FOMO and things like that, because now that also leads to unprofitability. So trading is like a double-edged sword that you have to learn to master and wield, and learn how to not cut yourself while wielding the double-edged sword. So that's what we have to understand, traders, and I just wanted to come on here and talk about that.